Awesome.
All right, you got game audio?
Yes.
All right. All right, everybody. We are back here on the Alienware Twitch channel. I've got Ryan from Impeller Studios. Ryan, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So, Starfighter is the game we are playing. Tell us about it.
So Starfighter Inc. is a multiplayer space combat game. So it's taking a very hardcore sci-fi look at what it would be like to actually fight other pilots in your own spaceship in like a multiplayer space battle scenario. So it's going to have sort of heavy component damage. You get to customize and deck out your ship with whatever weapons you want, whatever skins you want, whatever decals you want on it, and then you go straight into a 15-on-15 deathmatch or objective-based match.
15v15, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right, well, so Ryan is the expert here. We're going to let him drive the experience. I'm going to sit back. He's going to walk us through everything. So you said multiplayer. How are we going to be playing today? Like, what's this demo?
So this demo, we are at a pre-alpha stage. So right now, this is just a quick and dirty single-player demo made specifically for PAX, but it would be representing what sort of like maybe a training mission would be like in the game. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to see the multiplayer, but you will get to see some really cool stuff here.
Awesome. Let's take a look.
So the mission starts after a battle has taken place in Saturn's rings. So we are right at sort of like the edge of the Keeler Gap, and this is a giant asteroid that's made its way into it, and we are going to be taking down a giant Atlas carrier that's on the other side of the asteroid. So what you're seeing in here is a whole bunch of space debris from the battle. You saw some ships that were coming in and colliding with stuff and blowing up in the beginning, and so now we're just going to fly around and we're going to show off some of the pure Newtonian physics that we have right now. So there is some AI assist that we have on, but I've now turned it off for a moment. And you'll notice that my ship, my hands, they're off the keyboard. I told it to rotate. It's going to continue rotating because we don't have any friction in space. There's also this giant asteroid in front of us, which I'm going to try not to turn into.
You bring up a very good point. So no friction in space. We were playing a drift a couple of months ago on the channel, and people were testing my science knowledge. So I'm going to make you the science expert here, since you just dropped a little bit of knowledge on us.
Okay.
And I was told, I said there's no oxygen in space, therefore plants cannot grow in space. Would you confirm or deny this theory?
Well, I am no scientist, but from what I know, you're not going to be growing plants without oxygen. And there's no oxygen in space, so I would say they cannot grow plants in space. You could grow plants in an enclosed space station that has oxygen in it. But in space itself, get out of here, debris. In space itself, you could not be growing plants.
Exactly, Chad. And with that, I rest my case. I will drop my mic. All right, let's get back into the game.
So I'm going to turn off the auto assist. You'll see I have a little trajectory icon right there that I'm trying to chase with my aim. So that's the direction that I'm flying in space right now. So regardless, I can get going regardless of where I look. That is the direction I'm going to be going. So that's like the fun physics as a mechanic that you're going to be playing with in this game. That you'll get to pull off those maneuvers where you set, like, oh, I want to fly in this direction, but I want to turn around.
Class Atlas detected.
Oh.
Updating targeting and mission priorities.
We just detected the Atlas over there, and now it is blasting at us. So enough of our space physics lessons. Let's go blow this thing up.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Railgun selected.
So on the little MFD I have here, you can see that it's telling me for the PAX demo, this is a very specific display that we have. But I want to shoot a nuke into the Atlas hangar. Its hangar doors have been blown off, and I want to shoot a nuke inside of it and blow it up from the inside. So it's a little bit tricky, but we'll see if I can do it.
All right.
So the missiles that we have are dumbfire missiles at the moment. So they inherit our ship's velocity. So to get a nice clean shot, I have to get that velocity indicator that I pointed out earlier lined up with my targeting reticule to get it to fly nice and straight and where I want it to go. So everything, so here we go. Right there. And let's see if I can get out of here and not get blown up.
Impact confirmed.
Oh, we missed
Nuclear
it.
yield 4 megatons.
There we
Nominal
go.
AMP.
So there we go. So that is our quick little demo
Okay.
here, but I'm just going to jump into it again and show off some other stuff. So the
Okay.
Shrike is the ship that I'm flying right now is a Shrike, and we're playing with a whole bunch of different ways to do space combat. So the Shrike has these awesome little wings that you can deploy right there, and those are sensor arrays. So when you deploy those, you would then be able to do other abilities that other ships would not be able to do. So you can hack ships, like shutting down their weapon systems or their engines so they're staying dead in the water, or maybe destroy or taking their countermeasures offline so another ship that's equipped with like heat-seeking missiles could come in and blast them out of space. So the Shrike is a very versatile ship in that sense. But it is not, it could not go head-to-head with an assault class ship and hope to win on just sort of pure
Carrier
combat.
class Atlas detected.
So that's
Updating
we're playing with a whole bunch
targeting
of stuff
and
like
mission
that on how can we have all these cool different ways to have space combat and still, and also allowing people to play the way they want to play. Actually, over here, if I can get over to it without dying, is one of our other ships. So this one is a Pegasus. It might crash and blow up. Okay, no, we're good. So,
I was gonna say.
and the collision's a little bit. We're pre-alpha. Collision's not perfect. Please don't hate us. Get out of there. Okay, so Pegasus is gone, but that was a Pegasus, and that's a ship that would be able to dock onto other ships like the Atlas and deploy like a mercenary crew to be able to complete objectives from the inside. So if your idea is to try to take over a space station, you could dock on, deploy guys, and fly off, and they would take it over from the inside, so you don't have to blow it up. So that is, so those are sort of like, there's a pure combat, there's a hacking and that, and there's sort of boarding. And those are sort of our, starting off our three main ways that you can be playing differently with different ships in the game. So, I guess, are there any questions?
So from a technology standpoint, I was looking at chat as we've been streaming it. So VR support, absolutely.
Oh yes, yeah. We are partnered with Oculus. We have VR support in, and it's actually, it works right now. It's just not in this demo.
Awesome. And then somebody asked about tracking support. Will you guys have like tracking support?
Track AR?
Yeah.
Yes. We actually have a kit from them as well. We also have HTV Vive from Steam, and partners with them, and we are all for VR. And we have a VR specialist or consultant here with us who, if we want to get into VR right now, I can have him take my place, and
you can show us some more of the gameplay. We'll definitely get him on.
Okay,
Talk a little bit about
but
VR.
he can go into VR and what we're doing with that much better than I can. So we'll see how close I can get the Atlas to show that off. But we're trying to make everything as scientifically accurate and having the function inform the design of the ships. So it's not designed just to look cool. I mean, we love it if stuff comes out looking cool, but it's designed to function first and then be gameplay. So what we're looking at here on the Atlas are giant radiator fins on it. So these are, you have the main engine back here. This back half of the ship here is its engine. So in a full mission, you might have the Atlas trying to get somewhere, and a way that you can stop it from getting places is blowing up its engine. So you could be attacking this back half of the Atlas to do that. And each piece will have different components and different reactions on what it does. So you have a giant primary thruster back here with auxiliary thrusters built into the radiator fins. You have the nuclear engine somewhere built. We have a whole bunch of tech guys who we consult with who sort of draw up the blueprints from the ships, and then from the blueprints, after we discuss them, we then get handed off to 3D modelers who are awesome at doing their job there. But so these are, I believe this is fuel in here.
Leave engagement zone. Turn
A
back
little
around.
too close.
Yeah, Atlas does not like me. So you could blow those up to reduce its fuel so that way it can't get as far away, or you could blow up the radiator so it can't run at full power. You could then blow up the habitat ring on it. Let's see if I can show that off. I can get close enough to show that. And that would delay how fast they can repair different parts of the ship. There we go. We actually saw, that's a Pegasus blowing up right there.
Our defenses are destroyed. We won't survive much longer.
Let's go underneath the asteroid this
We
time.
managed to disable carrier's main weapon.
So everything that we're doing is based off that hard science. That always comes first, and then the gameplay.
Firing directly into the hangar.
But the
Carrier
way it informs the
Plaza Atlas
gameplay
detected.
does it in such a
Updating
unique
targeting
way
and
that
mission
flying
priorities.
in this game is not like flying in any other space game, because we're actually, well, I mean, Kerbal Space Program is probably closest to what we're doing there. Like, they're using the real physics, they're using the real deal, and that's what we're doing. I think I saw someone in the chat mention about landing on planets. You'll not be able to actually land on planets. There may be some terrestrial bodies that you could land on, like asteroids, for some ships that can sort of land on a planet and then become sort of like an auto turret, where you just get to blast other people out of the sky. Okay, let's see. But you wouldn't actually be able to land on like Saturn or Neptune or Jupiter or stuff like that. Okay, I might be able to hide right up in here.
Warning.
No,
Leave engagement
okay.
zone.
But
Turn
that
back
ring
now.
right there that you see, that's like the habitat
Right.
ring that you could blow up. So every piece of the ship has a function, which is, it's crazy the amount of talk and design that goes into this before anything even gets implemented into the game. And in the background here, you can actually see the Hyperion, which is, it's the heavy weapon ship that we have in the game right now, where it will be firing off tons of missiles, it'll have tons of lasers, it'll be able to take a ton of damage and also then give a ton of damage.
So was this game a Kickstarter?
Yes, we were in Kickstarter. The Kickstarter wasn't successful, but that was almost a blessing in disguise. Because we got out there, we had 5,000 fans who backed us and showed that they loved what we were doing. We got tons of support, and we heard what they wanted to see in the game. So we've been quiet for it's almost a year now, and we've just been working as hard as we can now to make the best game that we can and get to sort of take the feedback that we received and get it implemented into the game. So now instead of going on to, and we are going to be doing another Kickstarter, there'll be another one coming up. There is a newsletter that you can sign up for at impellerstudios.com that will let you know when that's launching. Tentatively, we're going for like early June, but you guys will hear all about that when it happens. But we took the feedback and we ran with it. We saw that people are interested and that this is something that gamers want to play. And even here at PAX, like, everyone is super excited to be playing this. And we're super excited to be showing it off to you guys, honestly. This is huge for us to actually go from the failed Kickstarter with very little gameplay to about a year later being at PAX at the Alienware booth, streaming right now, showing this to everyone.
That's awesome. We're glad that we could be that outlet to get the message out even more.
Yes.
So we have some videos also. Do we want to show some of was it gameplay or were they trailers? What are some of those videos that we had?
We have a couple videos where I don't know where you put those on the desktop. I'm scared to touch anything.
No, it's all good. There we go. So which one would we like to show?
So
first?
let's start with the Shrike, the evolution of the Shrike.
This one?
This
one.
First, yeah. But the video that we're about to see is showing the evolution of the Shrike and how it went from sort of like from paper to in engine, and sort of showing off all the thought and detail that went into it. So I know I talked a lot about the Atlas and the thought that went into that, but you're going to see a video of what it took to sort of create the Shrike here. So I saw the paper. This is now some renders of it. But as you can see in those text blurbs that are going to be popping up, the amount of detail that goes into every single part of this, from weight and power needed to what kind of damage it's going to deal. And we are going to be having very heavy component damage in the game. So it's going to be sort of like a world of tanks in space, in a way, is a good way to sort of think about the component damage. Because we're going to be looking at lasers are going to be dealing different damage than impact weapons and then missiles and stuff like that. So we're looking at everything and how it works in real life to then inform our design on how it's going to actually behave in space. And there we go, showing the wings folding up for its sort of its flight mode versus the sensor scanning mode.
That's cool. That's awesome.
We're a remote startup indie company. We have people on the West Coast, on the East Coast, in the UK, Netherlands, Australia. We span across 9 different time zones. So, I mean, something really cool about working on this project is that the sun really never sets on Starfighter Inc. No matter what time it is, there is always 1 or 2 people online working on the project, trying to get this ready to get to a point where we can get it so all of you guys can be playing it.
Nice, that's cool. That's cool. That's the advantage, I guess, of everybody not being located in the same place.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, at the moment, this is just a passion project. No one's getting paid. we are doing this because we want to make this game and because people said they wanted to play it. So I mean, that's why we're here, because people said they wanted to play it, so we took that to heart, and now we have a demo and people are playing it. So we're excited that the fans of this have actually, that you guys motivate us to do this.
Awesome here. So we're actually gonna cut this segment, I think, right about here because we are having audio issues. I need to get this fixed up, guys, and then we'll be back with you. Ryan, it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
For showing us Starfighter. And more, where are we gonna go to follow to get more information?
If you go to impellerstudios.com, there's a newsletter you can sign up for, and we'll also be posting any new information there as well. But there'll be a Kickstarter coming soon. There's no date I can tell you yet, unfortunately, but soon.
Sounds good. And we will have that VR discussion, guys. We are doing some Oculus stuff at the end of Saturday and Sunday. So we'll get them to come back over and talk about VR and all of that stuff. So we'll be back here, guys, in about 10-15 minutes.
Awesome.